So you're looking forward towards beating Bloodbath and you're searching for some tips and tricks for consistency. Well, that is exactly what we're gonna be doing today. Let's begin. And before we start, I'm aware that I did this kind of video twice so far. I just thought of doing it once more just because for the fact that I actually completed Bloodbath, it will be more valid for me to give tips and tricks video on it, right? And I thought it would be easier to understand. And well, that's basically all. Anyways, I'm sorry for wasting your guys' time. Let's just jump right in. So when we get here, make one little click like this, but not too high, otherwise that can happen. And then once you have a feeling you have touched this speed change, slowly go up like this, 1, 2, 3, and once you have passed this exact spike, you want to just jump down, or just like fly down, something like that, like this. Whoop, 1, 2, and then make sure to click over here to realign yourself, tap the orb, wait a little bit over here, and then tap the blue orb. Just not like that. Tap it when you're barely on it. It's a bit of a tricky timing. Now we get into this part over here. This is just a bunch of straight flying. It's nothing too rough. I do have some tips on it. So when you do this first straight fly over here, there are two ways you could do this part. So you either want to do it like this, like you just want to make sure that you are as much as down as you possibly could be, or you could do this. Do it what's the best for you, okay? I think going down is much better. Now, same applies here. You either want to do this part like this, when you just want to hold, or just make sure to go as high as you possibly can, and then just hold when you hit the slopes. I prefer doing it this way, so like, once I'm in the middle, and then I hold. Whoop. And for some reason, I think before you just used to hold here, but then in the update, I think something was changed, so you actually need to time this. So what you want to do is, unfortunately, actually time it. Like, you could use that little decorational thingy as a visual cue. And then I think other clicks will just turn into buffer clicks, which is great. Wait, let me actually try it. Okay, just be careful. 1, 2, 3. And speaking of which, I think you actually have to slightly release, like, before you even hit the portal for that to work, which is a bit problematic. Oh, so you actually cannot actually do all buffer clicks. Alright, so what you want to do is, like, once you get over here, tap plate, don't hit the yellow orb, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, like that. And once you enter this little portal over here, you want to make sure that you hold right away. And there are two ways you could do this part. So either you want to just, like, when you do this, you just release and then realign yourself. And there's just another one. So you want to hold and tap, something like that. Do it what's the best for you. I just honestly prefer doing it this way. And then just hold. I'm just gonna realign myself. And then what? 1, 2, 3, 5. Make sure to slowly go up. And then, don't worry about this spike. This is a fake one. This one cannot kill the player. Then once you get down, make sure to click right away. And then once you reach this level, like of these like decorational spikes, you can then start to hold. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then hold. And then this part is just a bunch of timings, like this entire ball part. Just continue playing it as much as you can. It will eventually get consistent. It's not the hardest part in the level, but you'll eventually get used to it for sure. The sync is done very well for when this level was made. And then once you get here, I suppose this is the part where Bloodbath truly begins. So what you want to do is you can jump over here like this. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But there's another way you could do the so-called triples. You can do this, which is harder to time. But then you're only skipping one triple spike, so I don't recommend doing that. So you want to make sure to just do it like this. And then there are two ways you could just like do this entrance for the straight fly. You could just like jump right in. Like jump and then realign yourself and then do the straight fly. Or you can do this. Just do it what's the best for you. I personally like jumping into the portal and then doing the straight fly. Now this part over here is just like the beginning cube of Michigan. So what you want to do here is 1, 2, 1, 2. I think these kind of like lines on these like slabs could kind of like give you some visual cue for when to tap. And yeah, they actually work surprisingly. And now we get into the so-called biggest choke point in Michigan's part. And I actually have some tips for you. What you want to do here is wait only by a tiny bit and then jump. It will definitely help you later on, instead of just doing it like this. Yeah, see, that's what can happen if you just instantly like click. So you want to wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. And don't be scared by these decorational spikes. These black ones cannot kill you. Only the red ones, at least from here. For the previous ones, even the black ones can kill you, because they're static. So what I can recommend you for this part is just, if you play a lot of timing levels, this part over here won't be that much of a problem. It will for sure get consistent. Like 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. What? 1, 2, 3. And yeah, that's also the reason why I recommend you to jumping like when you enter the portal earlier, but not doing a buffer click, because it will definitely like help you later on. It's not just the spike over here that can kill you, it's also the transition into the cube that you gotta be very careful about. Then once you get here, this is just a bunch of triple spikes. The first one, you can just like click and hold and then just do the triple spikes the way you want to do them. Anyways, so when you get here, what I like to do is just 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. But you can also do this, which I consider to be rather awkward. Something like that, but I think spamming is better, so-called spamming. I'd say proper wave control, to sum it up. It's not really spam. But anyways, once you get here, which is the end of Michigan's part, you wanna click and hold. And once you get here, which is Evasium, this is just a bunch of easy ship maneuvering. It's not too hard. This wave could be a bit of a problem to some people, but it will eventually get consistent. What you can also do is do it like this, which I do not recommend at all. And you can also do this. And yeah, that actually works. And then once you get here, you want to make sure that you do this part like this. And when you are over here, make sure to release like as soon as you are about to enter the portal. Don't just do it rather earlier, because here's what can happen. Yeah, see? You just suffocate into the spike. And you want to use these kind of like decorational bricks for when to click for the first UFO click. And then press the pink orbs 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And just like that, the UFO will definitely get consistent. And now here we arrive to arguably the second hardest part of Bloodbath, which is crack. So what I like to do here, just make one click that will be decently long, but not too long, of course. 1, 1, 2. And when you get here, what you want to do is make sure to not hit this little platform over here, because it can definitely make it twice as more awkward. I don't recommend hitting that platform like that. Just like when you enter the portal, click right away. Just make sure to not hit this little block over here. And then just realign yourself in 2 clicks and then just do the straight flight. And then once you're here, there are 2 ways you could do this part over here. So you can also do it like this. You can kind of like dip down and then just realign yourself, or you can do it like this, where you don't even have to do it like that. You can also land there and then slightly remaneuver yourself and then do the straight fly. Hit this yellow orb over here, wait a little bit, make 1 click here and then do the rest. Considering it's a straight fly, it shouldn't give you much trouble. And then this is arguably the last hard segment of crack, and then just after that it's just a bunch of easy maneuvering. Oops, I'm sorry. Once you get here, you could use this little block over here as a cue for when to jump. 1, 1, 2. I don't recommend jumping later because here's what can happen. These little blocks are moved down, and here's what can happen. You can barely touch the block, so I don't recommend just like waiting to land on the second block. Just jump very late from the first one. And then over here, time this yellow orb as late as you can, and then hit the next orb right away. You can also do it like this. 1, 2. And when you buffer this click, you'll land over here, and then you pass the first half. Then we get into crack. And over here, there are clouds that can also be as a visual cue for when to jump. So here's what I like to do. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like that. 1, 2, 1, 2, wait, oops. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1. And be careful from this click of the ball over here, because there's a spike, a very hideous one actually. So what you want to do is make sure to click as late as you possibly can, and then click right away as soon as you land here. And then just buffer click like that pink orb. 1, 1, 1, 2. What I recommend you to do over here is, considering there's a saw blade over there, hit the yellow orb right away, and then buffer click the blue orb, and then slightly wait on the yellow orb, like slightly delay it, because here's what can happen if you just like do that. Yeah, see, that's what can happen. You can actually hit the saw blade, so be careful. 1, 2. Like I said, time this orb a bit later than usually to remove the extra chances of hitting the saw, and then do this part like this. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you can actually do it like that. There's not much timings to it. And here goes the little spam section. The so-called spam section. So what I like to do is wait until I'm at the edge of falling off of this orb, and then do 5 consistent clicks. 1, 1, 2. And just like that, you'll pass it every time. Just make sure to do it in 5 clicks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 1, 2. Just like that. It's super consistent. It's just a matter of patience for the very first click. Then buffer click the yellow orb and 1, 2. The reason why you want to time the second pink orb over here is because here's what can happen. Over there, you saw that correctly. There's an invisible little slope that's inverted. And what happens if you do it like this? You'll sometimes actually die to it, like to prove that there's an invisible platform. Yup, here it is. Damn, Riot broke his level real hard with this update. So you actually have to time the second pink orb to avoid dying here, which is just like crazy. And the rest is just automatic until here, which is Etzer. Now what you want to do here is use this little glow thingy on this exclamation mark as a cue for when to click, and then do it like this. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Something like that. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. It will eventually get consistent. Just make sure to play it for long enough. You can also do this part like this. 1, yeah, you don't even need to like hit the orbs. You can just cheese it like this. But considering it's awkward doing it that way, and you'll eventually, most likely, hit this orb, I don't recommend you just doing it like this. So just do this part on the way it's intended to be done. Then tap the pink orb a bit late. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Then once you get here, be careful of this little spike over here. Make a tiny maneuver to dodge it. Then over here you can land on these because they are just decorational spikes. They're supposed to trick the player into thinking, oh, I don't think this is actually a decorational spike. Let me just go up. But if you go up, then it's a path of doom. So what you want to do here, just like, don't do it like this because it's impossible. You just want to land here. 1, 2, 1, 2, walk. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So once you have bounced off of this slope, you want to do a bunch of easy maneuvering like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Like after the part with the landing on a slope, you just want to realign yourself with some pretty easy maneuvering. Just be careful of this spike, okay? This spike is a no joke. And then just realign yourself over here. I think you can also use this speed change as a cue for when to, like, let go. It can definitely help you, for sure. What? Just don't overdo it, okay? Because you saw what I did there, alright? I just hit the spikes. Like top ones. So you want to do it this part like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Just like that. And then once you get here, just do some easy maneuvering. And there's also another way I saw from someone just casually skip these 2 orbs over here just by doing this. Let me show you. What? 1, 2. I don't really recommend doing that just because of how risky it is. I don't see much people skipping that. So I don't suggest you skipping that neither. So just use the orbs. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And here's a little tip for the straight fly. So as soon as you hit this little platform, as soon as you hit this little gravity portal, you wanna wait only by a tiny bit and then do the straight fly. Now, once you're over here, you could use this little decorational brick of when to click. 1, 1, 2. Once you land here, and once you clicked over here properly, slightly time the yellow orb. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. Just like that. 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 1, 2, 3. And over here, if you're wondering how can I land there, it's because there's a platform here to prove that there is. Yup, there it is. And then once you get over here, you just want to do 1, 2, 3. Just hit the 3 blue orbs. Don't hit the 4th one. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. Okay, so here's another way how I like to do this UFO. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I saw from someone they like to do it like this. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1. I think it's a prevention of hitting the saw blade, unless I am wrong, but you can just do it on the way you prefer it. Just on the way you personally like doing it. Okay? So here's the way I like to do it. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. And then go up, then do some easy wave controlling. And make sure to land into this cube portal like this, because there's also yet another invisible platform. Yeah, like see, over here. So you want to go up as high as you can, just don't overdo it. And once you have landed on this invisible platform, prepare yourself for some very tricky maneuvering over here. Yeah, you can also do it like that. However, I think doing it this way is easier. Okay, so for this part, you just want to slowly try to like fall down, then reposition yourself here. 1, 2, 3, 4. I would recommend you to hit this yellow orb a bit later. Like, once your icon connects with it, like that. 1, 2, and then time this pink orb over here. Slightly time it. Whoop. And then you have to slightly time this yellow orb as well. And then once you do that, and once you have realigned yourself for the straight fly, just the rest is just a straight fly. Now here goes this short duel. Now what I want you to do is just like instantly click, but yeah, that's the problem. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. Just make sure to not instantly buffer click these orbs, okay? You have to slightly time them, because see, that's what can happen when you buffer click. So you have to slightly time them. And then after that, focus on your player 2 icon. Like as soon as you get the feeling that your bottom cube has jumped off of this little platform, just release and then just wait. And then once you land on this slab, click right away. And then once you land over here, click right away. Now for this blue orb, I would recommend you to tap it like in the middle, like that, so it's the most consistent. Then you want to click over here. Don't just do it like that, because damn, that's so risky. You want to wait and then slightly time this click in the UFO portal. 1, 2. And then slightly time this little blue orb. Now, if you're wondering how do you do this very frightening straight fly over here, and plus the entrance to it, what you want to do is use this little portal over here as a cue for when to realign yourself. And then do the rest of, just like as a regular straight fly. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. it's very consistent doing it that way. And I would recommend you to do it like that because it's the most consistent. Now, once you get here, make sure to tap like right at the edge of this slab, but not too late, otherwise that can happen. So do it like this, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, just like that. And once you get here, once your ball touched that, you wanna click, like as soon as you notice it. 1, 2, whoops, okay, I'm sorry, 1, 1, 2, wait, no, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. I saw from some people how they just do this, 1, 1, 2. Just do not do that. That's just extra timing. So there's a way to turn that into a buffer click. Do it like this, 1, 2, 1, just like that. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. Wait, 1, 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you could go through this. Don't worry, this won't kill you. 1, 2. You have to slightly delay this little click over here. 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, just like that. And over here, there's one last click. So you're either gonna jump on the GG sign like that. Wait, no, not like that. Something like that, but damn, that's such a tough jump. Something like that. I think that's very close to a frame perfect, unless it already is. I wouldn't recommend you just jumping on the GG sign. So if you don't want to take that route, you could just go with the regular triple spike. And if you're wondering, yes, I do have some tips for the triple spike. So look at this. Once you land here, try to look at the triple spike before it almost goes fully invisible. Then you could use this letter O on Riot's name, and then just jump. It's not a hard timing at all. Just do not do that. That would be really stupid. And then just like that, it will definitely get very consistent. That you won't die to it at all. And those were my tips and tricks on Bloodbath. I hope this one helped a little bit more than my previous 2 Bloodbath tips and tricks videos. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And best of luck on Bloodbath.